Welcome to Percussion Things Online Jamboree. So everybody, go and get your percussion instruments. What?
They don't have one. Maybe they have chickens.
Oh, you think they might
They
have chickens?
probably have chickens.
Well, should we show them how to play the chickens?
We're actually playing to a farm audience today.
Oh, it's a farm
audience.
audience. So
Yes.
okay, so.
Do the chickens.
All righty. So anything can be a percussion instrument. Ask Mr. Lynn, he'll tell you. Anything that you can
Squeeze,
or
shake,
or
rattle,
or
roll.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
roll. All right, so that sounds good. Mr. Lynn, I got quarter notes for you.
You got quarter notes, okay?
Yep. Mr. Lynn, that chicken sounds in pain. Mr. Lynn, okay, we got a little carried away there. But listen, truly, anything can be a percussion instrument. Do you have something like this at home? Something that looks like that? What about something
This
that looks
is a
like
farm audience. This is a farm audience. They have hogs too.
that? Oh, they have hogs?
They have
Okay,
hogs.
so we can even make percussion with... So we can bring you
Hogs,
drums,
chickens.
shakers, and we can teach you how to make these shakers. So the story that I'm going to tell for you now is a story that comes to us from East Africa, from a country called Kenya. And it's the story of the little boy who tried to hide from his father. Once there was a man, and every day that man would go down to the edge of the water and cast his net into the water. And every day after the sun had climbed across the sky and was just about to sit down on the other side of the mountain, that man would go back to the edge of the water and he would pull his net from the water. He would pull his net and it would be so full enough to feed his family, full enough sometimes to share with his neighbors, full enough to take with him to the neighboring village and trade for something very special to bring back to his little boy. The man had only one child, a son, and to him, that little boy was every star that sparkled in the night sky. And the sun, as it rose over the mountain each day, that man loved his little boy, and oh, that little boy loved his father. Every day, he would wait right at the edge of the yard, and he would look down the long, twisty, windy path through the bush to see if his father was coming. And as soon as he saw his father, he would jump up and say, "Hello, Baba!" I guess you guys don't call your dad Baba, huh? Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but I want to know what you call your dad. Do you call your dad Daddy? Do you call your dad Papa? Do you call your dad, Poppy? Oh, I know it. Do you call your dad Father? Hello, Father. It's so good to see you today. May I bring you something for dinner? Okay, so this little boy called his father Baba because that is a name of great affection and respect in this country in East Africa. Well, on this particular day, that little boy was so excited he could hardly stand it. He was watching and waiting and looking down the long, twisty, windy path, and sure enough, as soon as he saw his father, he jumped up and he said, "Hello, Baba! Today, I am going to hide from you, and you will not know where to find me. No." Well, the man just laughed. He said, "My son, I am your father. I will always know where to find you, but your mama is calling me to eat. Are you hungry?" And the little boy was too excited to eat, so he shook his head no, and his father laughed again. He said, "Very well, I will go and eat. You may go and hide, and then I will come and I will find you. As soon as his father went into the house, the little boy ran to the edge of the yard. Now, that is where he usually hid. But on this day, he stopped, and he thought, my Baba is so smart. He would think to look for me over here. I must find a better place to hide. The tree. So he ran to the other edge of the yard, and he was just about to climb the tree, but he stopped again. And he said, my Baba is so smart. He will think to look for me here too. I must find a better place to hide. And so he began to look all over the yard, and he walked around and he looked. And he looked, he even started to maybe hide under one of the little huts, but spiders. So he didn't hide there, and he was about to give up when he spotted a peanut right there on the ground. And he thought to himself, if I could hide inside this peanut, my Baba would never find me. Oh, I wish that I could hide inside the peanut. Sooner than he wished it, it was done. He was inside that peanut. And he thought to himself, my father will never find me now. No. Well, the boy didn't know it. But there was a rooster in the yard. Mr. Lynn? Sorry, just a sec. Are you okay? For the story, just
I want to be a chicken.
you were. Forgive Mr. Lynn. He got carried away. So we're just gonna play the.
I can't be a chicken.
Not right now.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe later. Okay, so that chicken came along and it spotted that peanut. I didn't know that chickens like peanuts. Did you know that chickens like peanuts? Chickens like peanuts. That chicken came clucking along and it put its head down and snapped it up, and then it went clucking through the yard. Well, that rooster, not a chicken, rooster, that rooster didn't know it, but there was a bush cat in the yard. A bush cat that likes to sing the blues. I don't know. Mr. Lynn, so we'll just drums?
No cats.
No blues singing cats, that's for sure.
Okay. Blue cat blues.
The blue cat blues. So that bush cat saw the rooster, and that bush cat came sneaking out into the yard, and as soon as it got close enough, it reached out and snapped up the rooster. And then the bush cat kind of went strutting through the yard. Well, the bush cat didn't know it, but there was a hyena behind the hut.
No laughing during the story like the hyena. Okay. So I should just play the drum for the children.
Kind of what I was thinking. That's okay.
I believe the children are our future.
I believe they are too, and they would love to hear the rest of this story.
I believe
They would love to hear the rest of this story. Okay. Would you kids at home, would you love to hear the rest of this story? Mr. Lynn is just getting carried away today. So, that hyena saw that bush cat. But the bush cat saw the hyena first, and she lit out into the bush. And she was running. But that hyena was running faster, and it ran, and finally it reached out, and
Stop.
And it snapped up. Yeah, that's it. The bush cat. Well, that hyena was pretty thirsty after he snapped up the bush cat, so he went the rest of the way down through the bush to get a sip of water. The hyena didn't know it, but there was a snake in the water. That hyena put his head down, but the snake put his head up and snapped it up. Whoa, Mr. Lynn, that must have been a big snake.
Bronta, a conda, Anasaurus.
Anasaurus universalatus, because we're at Universal City Library.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a really, really big snake.
Big
So
snake.
be careful if you got a
Huge.
big snake. So, like a long snake like that. Well, when a snake like that snaps up a hyena, it's a long snake with a big hump right there in the middle, and so it couldn't move. So it flopped back over into the water to wait. Well, sure enough, the sun had climbed across the sky, and it was just about to sit down on the other side of the mountain when the man came out of his hut. Well, it was time for him to go and check his net, but first he was going to find his son. So he strolled over to the edge of the yard where the boy usually hid, and his son wasn't there. And he thought, my son has found a new place to hide, the tree. So he strolled over to the tree, and he looked in the branches, and then he looked around the tree. But his son wasn't there, and that is when the man began to worry. You see, that's what we do as parents. When our little ones aren't where they're supposed to be, we worry. And the man thought to himself, my son has grown older. He has become bolder. Perhaps he thought to go and hide in the bush. But the bush is not safe for one so small, not at night. And so the man began to walk down the twisty, windy path through the bush. And all along the way, he looked for his son, and he looked for his son, and he looked for his son. But by the time he made it to the water's edge, he still hadn't found his son. And he was so worried and sad. He reached into the water to pull. Okay, this is a really heavy net. Something is going wrong here. I need everybody at home to help me. I need you to grab the net, and we're going to count to 3 and pull the thing out of the water. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my goodness. We could feel that kid energy coming through the camera, you guys.
Universally strong children.
They are very strong children. We can't
Universally
wait to
strong.
see you guys. Yeah, universally strong. You are so right. Guess what was in that net? If you guessed the snake, you're right. So the man opened up the snake's mouth, stuck his hand way in, and pulled out the hyena. So he opened up the hyena's mouth, stuck his hand in, and pulled out the bush cat. Then Mr. Land, auditioning for the voice. I guess that's what we're doing here. So anyway, he opened up the bush cat's mouth, which should shut it up, I'm hoping, and then he stuck his hand in and pulled out the rooster. And you're auditioning for hee-haw, right? Okay, so then he opened up the rooster's beak, and he stuck in 2 fingers, and he pulled out the peanut. He snapped open the peanut shell, and out came his son. The man said, my son, I told you, I am your father. I will always know where to find you. But that little boy never played hide and seek with his father again. The end. We hope you liked the story. Did you like our background? This Zoom room thing that Chikoro Studios has going on is very, very cool. I just have to do a shout out to Mr. Steven Silverberg here for his fine work today. So it's time, Mr. Lynn, for another transition. You guys remember what to do? Your hands go over here, and you're going to go way up over your head.
Now I'm going to play the djembe drum along with that clave.
How did I know when to stop? Mr. Lynn plays a special rhythm when it's time to wind up the beat.
And it's called the break. Check this out.
And so if you hear him play that, you'll know it's time for you to stop too if you're playing along at home. So Mr. Lynn, can you tell our friends out there in our Zoom audience what kind of drums you have here?
No, what is this? What is this?
I have no idea. What is that?
Oh my goodness. This is a thing that they clean the giant walkout with.
Why do we have cooking utensils?
It's like a scrub brush. It's like a ginormous, humongous scrub brush.
Yes, it is, but why do we have it? We're not cooking today, right?
I found this great percussion instrument in the Goodwill.
Everything's a percussion instrument.
And I picked it up, and I was like, oh my goodness. I've seen this utilized in the kitchen.
Right.
To clean the walkout.
Right.
But it makes a cool sound.
Oh, okay. And that's on clave.
Mm-hmm.
So I can play that, right?
Yeah.
And you play along?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. I am playing the wok cleaner.
Wok
What are we going to call this for as a percussion instrument?
Waklave.
Waklave. I like it. You just christened the new word. All right. I'm going to play son clave on the waklave. Yeah. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Percussionthings.com is where we can be
Percussionthings.com.
found.
Yes.
Again, percussionthings.com. Thank you.
Thank you.